Let's go on inside. We got some headlines for everybody on this Friday morning with Heather.
Okay, good morning. Good morning to all of you. Honoring a fallen hero. Take a look at this video. A massive show of respect as thousands of police officers line the streets for their brother in blue who was killed in the line of duty. Take a look at that. And that is in a small town on Long Island. NYPD Sergeant Paul Tuzolo was murdered last week during a gunfight in the Bronx. He was an officer for 19 years. President-elect Donald Trump calling his widow personally to extend his condolences. Tuzolo leaves behind two young boys, 4-year-old Austin and 3-year-old Joseph. He was just 41 years old, and we are thinking of that family and praying for them today. The Department of Homeland Security finally admitting the southwest border is under siege. And nearly 25,000 people from all over the country, including thousands of police officers, lining the streets of a small Long Island town to mourn the loss of NYPD Sergeant Paul Tuzolo. The 49-year-old police sergeant was shot and killed in a gunfight with a suspect in the Bronx last week. President-elect Donald Trump calling the sergeant's widow, oh goodness, you see her right there. He personally extended his condolences to her and her two young children. She has two sons, 4-year-old Austin and 3-year-old Joseph. They clung to their mom at the funeral. The sergeant's death marks the 8th time a New York City police officer has been shot in the line of duty this year. A fund has now been set up for his family. You can send a tax-deductible contribution to the address on your screen. And this is in my community. So many of the children of that community lined the streets to salute his family in service. So, yeah, tough loss.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
He's the man behind powerful movies like Lone Survivor, Deepwater Horizon, Friday Night Lights, but now just in time.
Was killed by cops in a shootout back in 1982.
And now this, the U.S. Navy SEAL who gave his life in a massive terror takedown, now identified as Chief Petty Officer Ryan Owens. The 36-year-old was killed as he and SEAL Team 6 stormed an al-Qaeda headquarters in Yemen on Sunday, killing 14 operatives. Our prayers and condolences now being offered to loved ones in his native Peoria, Illinois. Owens was currently stationed in Virginia Beach. He has been serving since 1998.
Just hours from now, the UN Security Council is holding an emergency meeting over Iran's ballistic missile test. The U.S. calling on the UN's most powerful
agent, who's described as being, quote, really good at deporting people. And the U.S. Navy SEAL, who gave his life in that massive terror takedown in Yemen, has now been identified as Chief Petty Officer Ryan Owens. He was killed as members of SEAL Team 6, upon which he served on, stormed an al-Qaeda headquarters in that country. They killed 14 operatives. He was from Peoria, Illinois. He enlisted in the Navy back in 1998. He was rewarded with several two Bronze Stars, actually. Petty Officer Ryan Owens was just 36 years old and leaves behind a young family. We are praying for that family today. It's so sad, and what a tragedy.
Yeah, and the 3 hurt. All right, thanks, Heather.